The State Council outlined the plan just days after the U.S. said it was considering higher tariffs on $200 billion of Chinese goods than initially planned. Chinese officials accused the U.S. of unilaterally heightening tensions between the two economic giants. They said the duties would range from 5% to 25% on $60 billion worth of U.S. products. The White House says its tariffs are a response to China's unfair trade policies, including subsidies and rules that require foreign companies to bring on local partners. President Donald Trump blames the practices for putting U.S. companies at a disadvantage and helping to create a trade deficit. Talks this spring between the two countries about the matters failed to produce an agreement. A first round of tariffs came into effect on 6 July, when the U.S. imposed 25% taxes on $34 billion of Chinese imports. China retaliated in kind. Tariffs on another $16 billion of products are pending, the second part of tariffs on $50 billion worth of imports that the U.S. announced in March. U.S. threats have escalated since, with the president saying he is ready to impose tariffs on all $500 billion of Chinese imports. In July, the U.S. published a list of $200 billion worth of additional products to be hit with tariffs of 10%, a figure the U.S. is now considering raising to 25%. In Friday's announcement, China said it is readying tariffs on U.S. items that include agriculture and energy products, leather and machinery. Beijing said the timing of the new tariffs would depend on whether the U.S. follows through on its threat. Trade flows. Concerns about the trade war have already affected China's currency, which has fallen almost 9% against the dollar since April. The People's Bank of China has announced new requirements for certain types of trading in the yuan, measures that are aimed at stabilizing the currency. The tensions are also having an impact on trade flows. The U.S. trade deficit, the gap between exports and imports, widened by 7.3% to $46.3 billion in June. The deficit had narrowed in previous months as companies rushed out exports to beat the imposition of tariffs. The trade deficit with China rose by almost 1% to $33.5 billion. China accounted for about 16% of America's trade in goods last year. The country exported about $500 billion in goods to the U.S. and imported about $130 billion.